out at Tiger Stadium on Saturday. It was great to see Colin Hurley back with the LSU football team. He was there in street clothes on the field with his family, and LSU released a statement after the practice was over. I want to call it the spring game, but after the practice was over, suggesting that he was back with the team, and they were thrilled to have him. Of course, you all recall that Colin Hurley was involved in a single-car accident Thursday, January the 16th, when the authorities arrived on the scene. He was found unresponsive in his car, so serious car crash. And we didn't get a lot of information after that, as you would likely expect, but we did find out in the weeks that followed that Colin Hurley had left Baton Rouge, had gone back to Jacksonville, where he's from, and was recovering there with family, and now is good enough to come back and rejoin the team. And it was awesome today to go out to practice and see Colin Hurley actually participating in practice. He was in a helmet, was going through the one-on-one drills, was throwing the ball down the field, and Brian Kelly talked about welcoming Hurley back to practice today when he met with the media.
It was great to see Colin out there today. He was involved in, and you guys saw, he was involved in some of the one-on-ones, and man, he looks great physically. He's got an unbelievably strong arm. It was just great to have him back out there. And just to have him here on campus is just a blessing to get that young man back here and be in the kind of physical condition that he is just exciting.
It is. It's awesome because when this happens, like, football takes a back seat. You get in a significant car accident and you're not responsive when the authorities show up. Like, football not all that important in this story. But once that recovery starts to set in, you return to the football field and he can continue life as usual. Keep in mind, Colin Hurley enrolled in college at 16 years old. He was 17 years old when he got into this car accident. So this is an incredibly young person that we've just known about since he was 14, 15 years old. He committed to LSU as a college sophomore, decided to enroll in LSU a year early. I was right in the middle of the age group in my class as a January birthday, and I was 18 when I was a senior in high school. And this is a guy who's been at LSU for a year and a half, and he's 17 years old. So it's great that he could rejoin the team. And so now we can approach this from strictly a football perspective, right? And that's what I'd rather do here is talk about football. Unfortunately, sometimes life has a way of showing up. But from a football perspective, LSU right now is in a really good spot as far as the quarterback spot goes. It is a fool's errand, and you all know this. It's a fool's errand to try to forecast the quarterback depth chart 1, 2, 3 years down the road. You used to be able to do that. You could do that. You would know who was the sophomore, junior, senior that you might have. You know who the freshman is on campus. You know who the 4-star recruit is that's signed. And, you can kind of map out what it might look like at quarterback. You can't do that anymore because everyone's transferring, but the quarterbacks transfer even more. And no program is immune to these transfers in and out. So it doesn't do us any good to sit here and talk about who the quarterback is at LSU for the first game in 2026 and not even close to the first game in 2027, right? All we can really do is look at LSU's quarterback room for 2025. And when you look at LSU's quarterback situation in 2025, you have a starting quarterback who is a fifth-year college player with a year of starting experience under his belt. That's as good as you can do. At the backup spot, you've got a guy with SEC starting experience who was a 4-star recruit. So high on ability and got some young experience. That's about as good as you can do as your second-team quarterback. And now you've got Colin Hurley as your third-team quarterback, a former 4-star recruit who is young, who's willing to sit and wait his turn, who is a developmental project piece at the back end of your depth chart, which a lot of people don't have because they leave. And then you have added to the equation Juwan Johnson, who is a wrinkle to your offense, specifically in short yardage situations and in the red zone and tight zone. So that is about as diverse and quality a group as you can put together in 2025. The days of signing 2 4-star quarterbacks in the same class and bringing them up together, those days are gone. So you've got to layer it with some high school guys and some transfers. And in this case, you've got a high school guy in Garrett Nussmeier. You've got a transfer right behind him in Michael Van Buren. You've got a high school guy in Colin Hurley. And then you've got Michael Van Buren, who you swapped positions perspective. Juwan Johnson, who you swatched a position change. So that's a very, very healthy spot for Joe Sloan in this quarterback situation to be in. You never want your starting quarterback to go down. Every team is going to take a little bit of a step back when your backup quarterback comes in. But I'll tell you this, in Tiger Stadium on Saturday, Michael Van Buren was dropping some dimes. I mean, he made some great throws. One, a deep ball down the left sideline to Chris Hilton, who made a sliding catch. He dropped a dot into Trey'Dez Green on a really good throw down the left sideline as well. He's a talented guy. Is he a championship-level quarterback today? I don't know about that. Is he capable of starting a home game for LSU and functioning the offense? I think probably. I don't want a guy who's in everybody's top 5 for the Heisman to go down. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying your backup quarterback can function. I think Juwan Johnson's got a piece of this offense that is uniquely his. We saw it in the red zone on Saturday in Tiger Stadium, and I think you're going to see it as the season gets here. And then Hurley, it's great to have him back as a developmental piece who has some talent, no question. So you could have looked at this, and I mean, there was a chance in December Garrett Nussmeier was leaving. You didn't have Michael Van Buren until the portal opened. Juwan Johnson wasn't a quarterback this time last month. And Colin Hurley got hurt in the car accident. Like, there were a lot of variables that got LSU to where they are right now. And when you line that quarterback room up 1 through 4, you feel good about it. Now you understand that you're going to have to go get a quarterback or 2 in the next high school class, the next transfer portal class. Because Nussmeier moves on, and then who knows what happens with the other 3 guys. Just is what it is in this era of college football. But for right now, today, looking at 2025, LSU's quarterback situation is good as just about anybody in the country, I would suggest. So if you're looking for LSU content, you can always find it Hunt on LSU, wherever you find your podcast, certainly on YouTube as well. Looking for your Saints content, Hunt on Saints, wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube as well. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.